Good morning. It's a beautiful day, August 11th. It's rocking and rolling. Here's a little bit of a foreshadow for today. I've spoken about this a little bit over the last several weeks. And I've said, hey, look, don't listen to the national headlines. What you're seeing elsewhere isn't happening here. Um, that's true. Yet there are things that are starting to show up that you need to be paying attention to. And I'll help you understand what that is and what that might be and how you're going to protect yourselves as you head into the fall and heading into Q1 of 2027. Because there are some things happening that will cause a slowdown. And if you don't pay attention to it on the front side, you'll get smacked in the face when it actually happens. Make sense? Good news is nothing is unhealthy about the market where we are, but what I don't want you to do is ride this wave of like everything's great, everything's sunshine and daydreams, and then all of a sudden something happens because of some trends I'm noticing, and all of a sudden you're like, what the hell? Where did that just come from? And I was like, hey, remember on August 11th, and I told you that this was going to come? This is my forewarning to you to make sure that you're paying attention to your business, because there's some things that you need to be paying attention to and how you can implement those to be proactive to what could happen this fall or into Q1 of 27. Make sense? Beautiful. All right. So let's run. We'll just jump right into it right away, right up front. One of the things I do want to touch on is we have a new friend in our marketing program. It's from your friends. We have a variety of our agents who actually already utilize this service. And they were going to jump on this morning to help us understand a little bit more about how they can help enhance your 33 touch or 36 touch lead generation efforts. And I will tell you, it's vitally important because it helps set the stage for what I'm going to talk about here in a second as it relates to the market updates. So, with that, we welcome from your friends to the
Good
stage
morning.
for the program.
You hearing me okay this morning?
Yep, go ahead.
I'm going to share my screen and we will get rolling and not spend a whole lot of time and get you guys back and working. Let's see. Make sure you're seeing the right one here. Are you seeing my slideshow okay? Just want to make
Yep,
sure
you're
I'm
good.
getting technology correct. All right, thank you. Good morning. I appreciate the invitation today. Excited to tell you a little bit about Keller Williams, Milwaukee's new relationship marketing program and how we can help you build repeat business and referrals. I am 100% certain that I don't need to spend a bunch of time convincing you all that relationship marketing is the most essential part of your personal marketing program. As Gary Keller has said throughout his career, lead generation is the oxygen of your business, and your database is your long-term wealth engine. But to generate wealth from your sphere, you need good tools to help you interact with your contacts, stay top of mind, and you need ways to actively generate referrals, which is where we come in. We'll help you foster and maintain those valuable relationships and turn them into repeat business and referrals. The reason our program is called From Your Friends is that we know that the secret to generating referrals and lifelong loyalty from your sphere is to create relationships that go beyond the transaction and actually turn your customers into friends. There is just a huge difference between someone who considers themselves a customer and someone who considers themselves your friend. Friends are people who will stay loyal for life no matter how many other realtors they meet along the way. Friends will actively send you referrals and promote your success because it makes them happy to help you succeed. So we want you to start treating your customers the way that you treat your friends. Think about what you do with your friends, right? Friends get together for dinner or they grab around to golf. Friends will get their families together for a game or even just meet for a cup of coffee. We know that if you did all of these things with all of the people in your sphere of influence, there's no doubt that they would become fast friends and help you build your business. But we also know that no real estate agent has the time, money, or energy to do all of these things each and every month with every person in your sphere. And that's why we created From Your Friends. The program is simple, but it has a powerful impact and it ensures that your marketing gets noticed, used, and appreciated. What we do is each month we negotiate a valuable offer or discount from a local restaurant, merchant, or attraction, which you can then send to your sphere of influence as a special gift from you, their friend in the real estate business. Each monthly thank you gift is sent in the form of a beautifully designed, personalized, oversized postcard. So now you really can send your past clients to sporting events, great restaurants, family activities, cultural attractions, and more. So I just want to give you three quick reasons, right, why From Your Friends is such a no-brainer for any agent who wants to work by referral. First, we've made it very affordable and super easy to use. Unlike other marketing programs, we don't require upfront sign-up fees. We have no contracts. We have no minimum postcard order requirements. And postcards cost just $1.15. That includes everything, the printing, the addressing, the postage, and the great offer. You can also get unmailed postcards sent directly to you for 85 cents a piece, which are great for handing out at open houses, listing appointments, networking events, or sending to someone that you just met in between months. The program is a monthly subscription, can be a set it and forget it program if you'd like, with a touch each month, but you always have the option to skip an individual mailing at no charge. Our premier brokerage partnership with Keller Williams Milwaukee means that all of our postcards are customized as a gift from the broker who sends them. And so they have your name and a brokerage logo printed on the front of every postcard. But we also have a completely customizable section on the back of each postcard to provide you with additional marketing. Changes are free and easy to use, easy to do using our Canvas style online design tool. We have tons of great templates where you can ask for referrals, offer holiday wishes, show off just listed or just sold homes. You can upload your team logo. Customizing the postcard this way allows it to do double duty, which is offer that item of value while also building your personal brand. The main thing, of course, that sets From Your Friends apart from other marketing options is the great monthly partner offers that we have, true items of value for your sphere. We work hard to have valuable offers, interesting partners. We've created partnerships with some of the top national brands, but we also feature local favorites, and we love to get recommendations from our subscribers. We try to have a wide mix of partners throughout the year so there is something of interest for everyone in your sphere. We have great partners planned throughout this year from places like Rodizio Grill, Uncle Julio's, The Melting Pot, and local favorites like Saz's and Steakhouse 100. So our program officially rolls out for Keller Williams Milwaukee in September. Our September featured postcard partner offer gives your sphere $15 towards dining at the Explorium Brew Pub with 3 local locations. The beauty of sending a true item of value is that people who receive the postcards don't throw them away. Instead, that postcard gets put up under a magnet on the fridge or in their purse or briefcase until they use it. And the whole time you are getting those repeated impressions and reminding them who to call when it comes time to buy, sell, or refer a friend. When you create a From Your Friends subscription, one of the best things is that you do get that monthly auto flow, set it and forget it marketing touch, making sure you're getting, 12 touches a year on your sphere out of your 33 or 36. No matter how busy you get, you connect at least once a month. But the true top of mind awareness requires those multiple touches each month. And we know that one of the hardest things for realtors when it comes to keeping in constant contact is having enough interesting content. It doesn't do much good to have an email marketing program or a social marketing program if you don't have content for it. And some of your friends can really help with that each month too. The best thing about being a customer appreciation program is that it opens the door to actual conversations and the opportunity to connect through email, social, video, and other digital media without being intrusive. The agents who get the best results from your friends are also integrating it into those other options. Some of our top agents order a few unmailed postcards each month and then post an image on Facebook or LinkedIn of their customer appreciation postcards, inviting people who aren't on their sphere or their mailing list to ask for one. It's a great way to add people to your sphere of influence who actually ask to be on it. And we have others who do the same things with a short video on Instagram or YouTube. From Your Friends postcard gives you the chance to just hold it up, have a quick 15-second video, invite people to join your sphere of influence or get an extra touch on people that are already in it. And while I know many of you are not interested in door knocking, mostly because if I did it, I'd rather have a colonoscopy, honestly. But if you haven't walked around your neighborhood or the neighbor or the farm that you work and introduced yourself, you're probably missing an opportunity. And From Your Friends is a great way to do that. You buy some unmailed postcards, walk through the neighborhood. When your neighbor answers the door, you just hand them a postcard, tell them that you offer local residents a free monthly offer and discount just for being your neighbor. If it strikes up a conversation, great. If not, you just move on. But it does, pardon the pun, open the door to an interaction. the main thing that I'm hoping I'm getting across to you is that From Your Friends is more than a postcard with a coupon on it. It's the basis of a customer appreciation program that impresses your sphere, allows you to touch your sphere multiple times across multiple media, helps you expand your sphere of influence and your marketing impact, and in the end, hopefully generates that repeat business and referrals. Best part about From Your Friends, it actually works. We have thousands of subscribers across the country. It's the program that they stick with year after year. We've been doing this now for 25 years. Each one of our subscribers can tell you a story about a renewed relationship or a referral that they received and how their sphere actually thanks them for sending them these postcards each month. Because our program has been up and running in the Milwaukee area for many years, we already have about 20 Keller Williams Milwaukee agents who've been using the program on our individual subscriber plan. Our new Premier Brokerage partnership means that all those people now automatically get the enhanced branding. If you're already a part of our program, we'll just transfer you over to the new one. And best of all, is you get that Premier Brokerage pricing discount of 5 cents per postcard. It's already been applied to your account if you're already a subscriber. So, last reason to give From Your Friends a try. As I said, Keller Williams Milwaukee is a premier brokerage partner. That means that every new subscriber who hasn't already tried From Your Friends gets up to 100 mailed postcards to their sphere in their first month at absolutely no cost. We put our money where our mouths are, give you $115 for the free marketing, no strings attached. We do this because we know if you try it, you'll love it and you'll stick with it. Uh, to be a part of that first mailing in September, you have until the end of this week, basically, to get your subscription created. It only takes about 5 minutes. Just go to fromyourfriends.com, enter the promo code first month to get that first month mailing free up to 100 postcards. Appreciate your time today. I hope you'll all take advantage of that free trial month and finish 2026 with some strong and profitable sphere marketing. Happy to answer any questions, or you can always reach out to our customer service team at customer service at fromyourfriends.com, and our website has a lot of great information.
Sweet. Well, thank you guys, and we appreciate you jumping on from your friends. One thing I'll share with you is this. Many of you know that I spent 10 years of my professional career at Miller Coors, and I called on retailers such as Walmart, Kroger, Roundy's, uh, Festival Foods, Quick Trip. You want to know something crazy? And if you don't think this stuff works, this will hopefully make you think twice. Wisconsin has the highest redemption rate of any coupon programs in the entire country. True fact. And if you don't believe me, next time you go to Pick and Save or Quick Trip or Sendix, walk through I know the alcohol business because that's what I was in for 10 years. Walk down the beer aisle or the wine aisle and see how many coupons you see in those aisles. You will be shocked. It floored me when I worked in that business. The incidence rate of redemption of coupons in the state of Wisconsin, highest in the country. So if you don't think it works, there's a little factoid for you as it relates to our new vendor partner and how we're helping you enhance your 36 touch. Cool? All right.
You've
Beautiful.
got on the screen there, sorry to interrupt, we will be doing that Seven Secrets of Sphere Marketing on August 13th at 11 o'clock over Zoom. This is not a promotional piece. This is a kind of a keynote speech about how to have some best practices for sphere marketing and some secrets that we've learned over 25 years of doing this for thousands of realtors. So not a promotional, not a repeat of what we just did, but a neat way to maybe learn some things about sphere marketing.
Awesome. Well, thanks for jumping on. And it's a great segue into what we'll talk about in the back half of the presentation around some of the softness that we're
Appreciate the
seeing
time.
and how do you create the insurance policy to protect yourself from being disrupted or shifted. All right, with that, I want to shout out to a handful of things from a July awards perspective. First up, Home Run Club. These are one contract written, one listing taken, and one contract closed in the month of July. An incredible group of productivity here. Again, last month I shared with you, I think it was 2 or 3 pages. This month it was 2 or 3 pages. So shout out to those that had a home run club in the month of July. Similarly, for those that had $1 million month club in the month of July, it's a 3 column group across 2 pages. An incredible group of productivity in the month of July. So for those that had $1 million month in the month of July, congrats on your level of productivity. Highest percentage volume increase year to date. Got to give a shout out to Nolan, Anna, Sherry, Benji, Gina, Matt, Angela, Mitchell Schmidt, Susie, Timmery, Francois, Lori, Charlie Walker, Crystal, and Morgan McCabe, rounding it out for the top 15 agents, highest percentage increase year to date. When we look at it across GCI, we added a little bit of an element this month where we're looking at GCI for agents on a team for within the month of July, and then we also did a year-to-date number. So shout out to Kathy Shaw coming in as the number one agent on a team in the month of July for GCI earned. Katie at number two, Ginger, Katie Thomas, Stephanie Miller, Lauren Foy, Dawn Tarpey, Gail Franz, Kathy Demuth and Gretchen, Angela Funk, Will Carrie, Brittany, and Newbie rounding it out for agents on a team for GCI earned in July. And here it is for GCI earned year to date for agents on a team: Katie, Will, Ginger, Stephanie, Betsy, Martha, Kathy and Gretchen, Amelia, Carrie, Newbie, Angela Funk, Lauren Foy, and Gail and Dawn. Rounding it out for top 15 GCI agents on a team. July individual GCI, Molitor leading the way with Stoner right behind him. Pat PY, Benji, Robin, Katie, Jessica, William Lauer, Melissa Bradley, Sarah Reardon, Tracy Christensen, Mary Deacon, Kristen Stahulik, Casey Lopez, Timmery Naples, Abigail Jacqua, Paris Hebner, Catherine Risto, Mara Krieger, and Nada rounding it out for individual agents for GCI in the month of July. Individual agents year to date closed. Molitor leading the way at 68, Stoner right behind him at 47, Abby Wall at 36, Sarah Oberbrunner, Becky Bednarik, Abigail Jacqua, Judy Moffat, Mary Deacon, Casey Lopez, William Lauer, Paris Hebner, Ethan Masson, Joey Carini, Becky Thomas, Robin Harshaw, Kim Yanchensky, Melissa Bradley, Benji Cohen, Jessica Hanawi, and Allison Maris rounding it out for individual agents closed units year to date. And then here you are, individual agents, GCI year to date: Molitor, Stoner, Wall, Flat, Drain, Jacqua, Lopez, Moffat, Deacon, Oberbrunner, Rumor, Hebner, Reese, Thomas, Masson, Cohn, Bednarik, Zeman, Harshaw, Hanawi, and Reardon rounding out for individual agents year to date GCI earned on closed deals through July. Moving it over to Team GCI, FRG leading the way in the month of July. Highmark, El Safi, Wendorf, Ty, Team Trimble, House to Home, SRG, On Point, Retino Kuiper, A Key Home, Enlighten Realty Group, Matson Real Estate, Gallagher Lake Country, Houseworks, Fair Hinton, Double Bolt, Root River, Seward, Embark River, rounding it out for Team GCI in the month of July. Year-to-date closed units for the teams: Highmark at 218, FRG at 183, Root River at 147, El Safe at 103, Wendorf, SRG, A Key Home, Tie Team, Matson, House to Home, Retino Kuiper, Blackstone, MKE Real Estate Collective, PFPG, Kettle Moraine, Houseworks, On Point, Fair Hinton, Seward, Champaign, and Gallagher Lake Country rounding it out for team units year to date. And then year to date, total team GCI, FRG, Highmark, El Safi, SRG, Wendorf, Root River, Matson, Ty, House to Home, Gallagher White Country, A Key Home, Team Trimble, Fair Hinton, Houseworks, Retino Kuiper, On Point, Desties, Lake Country Realty Group, Champaign, and the Gossman Group. Incredible group of productivity. Guys, you guys are taking advantage of the market at the moment, taking more than your fair share of your market share, and incredible group to be around. And lean on those that you need help or what you want to learn from, because it's an incredible group of powerful people that are doing great things. Congrats to everybody on their success, not only in the month of July, but so far year to date through July. All right, with that, Steph, a lot of conversation around altered photos, what to do, what not to do, and what do they need to be paying attention to. So when we alter photos, what do they need to know?
Yes, we're revisiting this after the requirement has been put in place now for a few months. The compliance team is starting to see the emails roll in from MLS, getting CC'd on those who are not following the rules. So I just wanted to remind you guys too that this is not an MLS requirement. This is a mandate as a part of the Wisconsin Act 69, a consumer protection law that is going to go into effect beginning January 1st, just around transparency in marketing and compensation and commissions. So again, this is not an MLS requirement, but it is coming straight through from the Wisconsin Act 69. So failure to provide this disclosure is going to be a statutory violation beginning the first of the year. So we got to take this seriously. All right, so what is considered digitally altered? So virtual staging, modifying structures or landscaping, changing views, including removing permanent obstructions, and I will also say adding outbuildings or garages, just somehow altering the existing landscape in some way. What is not considered digitally altered? Next slide, Charlie. Just standard edits. So just brightness, contrast, color correction, cropping, and sharpening, all of that is not considered digitally altered under this requirement. So for those that are altered, we need to, in MLS, always include the original unaltered main listing photo. So if it is altered, you are going to follow the original photo by the watermarked altered photo. The directions are in MLS. I did not include them here. We can have you guys go to MLS to look at that. It's pretty self-explanatory once you get in there in terms of adding that watermark, but it's key here in this. So, and then including the phrase photos are digitally altered in the public remarks is also going to be required. All right, and then some common questions around this. Oh, first off, it does not need a watermark. Yeah, get the common questions around this. So the addition of a fire in a fireplace. This is not considered digitally altered as long as that fireplace is actually functional. So we got to make sure that that fireplace is actually working in order to include a fire in the photo. Changing the sky color. So a lot of us use the same photographer who adds a beautiful bright sky for us. We do not need to include a watermark for those photos. And then the removal of clutter or furniture. Some of us are using AI to remove just, cluttered rooms. You do not need to use a watermark for that either. Okay, so that is that. And then we wanted to touch on this. So celebratory social media posts. We just need to make sure and remind you guys that terms of offers must remain confidential. And that's among your peers, obviously. And then, of course, out on social media. So what we're seeing is, I think, just verbiage around like, accepted without inspection, just we need to really be mindful, really be careful of how we are presenting that information. So remember, terms of offers must remain confidential even after closing. Only the sold price may be published. And again, this is under your duties to all parties. Yes, ma'am.
You're good, Steph. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. What you can disclose is that you had multiple offers. It's just the terms within those offers cannot be disclosed. So got to take that seriously. All right. And then again, you guys, continuing education coursework is due December 14th. We just encourage you guys to take the coursework through the WRA. So if you go to wra.org/CE, then you'll get the prompts to sign up for the coursework. It's 12 mandatory and 6 elective courses for a total of 18 hours. Once you do complete it, you're going to send that final certificate to your individual broker. So any North Shore agents, you're going to send it to Ashley. Lake Country, Tosa, and South Shore, you're going to send to me. Prestige in Ozaki County, you're going to send to Eileen. And then if there's any Southwest people on the meeting right now, you're going to send it to Lisa. Again, you're going to get individual certificates. We don't need those individual certificates, just that final completion certificate can be sent to us. Okay, and if you're like a lot of us, you'll complete it the week of, that's okay. Just make sure you get it done. All right, compliance helpline again. Actually, I think the next time we talk about this, I'm going to remove the word call. We love texts. That's the easiest way. So just text us. If one of us, then we can quickly get back to you. If we can't get back to you in a timely manner, we can set you up to let you know when we can hit you up ASAP. Okay?
Sweet. And then as a reminder, our friendly AI intelligence app that we're working on building out more capabilities to, inclusive, and I'll just give you a little foreshadow. You know how, which I will give you today, we give you the data that tells you what's winning. We're actually building out an AI agent that will be able to read all of our contracts moving forward to be able to source all that data to help us keep track of trends instead of me formulating it on a spreadsheet and then interpreting the spreadsheet, but different ways in which we're incorporating it and how we're building out different things for you. So if you don't have the app, we encourage you to download it. All right, with that, I'll jump into education and events. Bunch of stuff coming up down the pike in the month of August and inclusive into September. Handful of things to touch on. PC, here's your PC coaching program throughout the month of August. So make sure that you jump in on Thursday mornings to want to participate in that. And then next week is Mega Camp, so there won't be a team meeting next week. You do have access to Gary's vision speech, which is free on KW Connect, which I would encourage you to do. That will come on Tuesday at 8 a.m., which is why we are not doing a team meeting. But if you want to participate Tuesday at 8 a.m., you will be able to hear Gary's vision speech, which I will actually be very interested in hearing because there's a lot of things going on a macro level to help us understand what is going on within our real estate markets and how we take advantage of what could be coming into 2027. So make sure you jump into that next week, Tuesday at 8 a.m. All right. 2 weeks ago, because we were off last week, and we have a little bit of a wonky schedule because I took off last week. We did it this week. We're going to take off next week because of Mega Camp, and then we'll be back with you on the 25th. But I wanted to reiterate a few things for you before I go into kind of what's going on in the market at the moment. And I wanted to kind of ground yourselves in kind of two thoughts because you have to understand these concepts to help you embrace where it is that the market may be going. Okay. First of all, I shared with you this model as it relates to how you think about your business and how your business is structured. What's your brand and what's your promise? How do you live it every day? And how do you attack every day like day one? What's your promise? How does it live? What's your ethos? What's your aura? Right? Data, how are you integrating data into your business and how do you embrace it? And what are the vital signs to your business? How are you utilizing AI to accelerate trends and insights and strategies? And what are the marketing mediums in which that you are communicating your brand's promise with intensity and frequency so that people understand who you are? This is the way you need to be thinking about how you structure your business in today's world and into the future. By the way, this is not real estate related. This could be applied to any business across any sector in society today, but it's something I've been thinking a lot about. And I would challenge you as you think about how you structure your business heading into 26 and to 27, what this looks like and how it lives for you. Okay. The second piece that I shared with you 2 weeks ago is I shared some commentary around your mindset. And what I shared was when someone challenged me, if you change your attitude and energy level, you will watch your entire world change around you because people desire to be in your presence. But it can only happen with intentionality and effort. The reason why I share this with you and how do you create an essence and presence of being a great leader within your space is how do you light up the space you occupy? How are you not selfish or egocentric? How do you infuse others with energy, purposefulness, and generosity? And you are realistic and optimistic about where it is that the market might be and where it is that the market might be going. And the reason why I lean into the power in terms of where your mindset is twofold. One, I know we're coming out a period of a time where many of you feel like you've been running on a hamster wheel since March, right? And we're sitting here in August, school's starting back up in 2 to 3 weeks. So much is going on at the same time. I know many of you over the next 3 weeks are trying to squeeze in vacation. You got a lot of things going on, and you have this sense of like, okay, here's my point to it. The power of optimism drives the decision to pursue challenges. And so the reason why I'm sharing so much of this mindset stuff with you is there's a lot of things going on in our market that we need to be paying attention to in order to mitigate what could happen. I'm not saying it will happen, but I will tell you this, you cannot be oblivious that it is happening in other parts of the country. Okay. So let's get into the market insights of July of 2026, shall we? I'll lead with this. My market predictions that I gave you last year heading into 2026, my prediction was the market will be up 4%. As of July, the market's up 4%. I said closed volume would be up 8% or more. As of July, the market's up 8.7%. Rates, I thought rates would stabilize, but I also did say that geopolitical conflict could destabilize rates. I thought it would sit between 6 to 6.25. As of today, they're sitting around 6.7%. We'll go into that a little bit. I will tell you this right now, that is the number one factor that could drive continued uncertainty is the increased rise of rates. And if we get above 7%, which I'm not saying that it will, but it's something to absolutely pay attention to because we're in a very commoditized market. Okay. Inventory, demand, and the Wisconsin advantage have all continued to run true. I only bring this up so that you know when I do my research to give you my predictions for 2027, this is me kind of saying to you, I do my research and I hopefully am giving you good factual information as to what to expect out of the market moving forward. And so I check in on my predictions every month to make sure I'm getting the correct direction to you and for you. I've shared with this a lot over the last 3 months. I would share with you this too. Like, this is why we are in the market that we are in. Our migration rates in the state of Wisconsin have been net positive over the last several years. It's how we are able to mitigate some of the things that we are seeing in Florida and Arizona and Texas, where they've actually had a net migration loss over the last several years, most especially Florida. Interesting to pay attention to and something I'll continuously be paying attention to. But this is why we are feeling the wind in our sails within our market, despite what's going on nationally. Now, when you look at new inventory units in the month of July, there were 2,849 new inventory units. You can see going back to effectively April, May, June, July, all have hovered around 2,800. That's really, really healthy to have 4 straight months at 2,800 of new inventory. Okay. Really healthy. When you look at July of this year versus last year, it was up 2%, and versus July of 24, it was up 11%. Okay. We can't do deals without new inventory coming to the market, right? And so when you look at this and you look at the 4 month stretch that we had from April to July, goes back to the theory I brought up earlier, where inventory will start to unlock as people have life events and they're getting off the 2.8 or the sub 3% mortgage rates, and mortgage are stabilizing and kind of normalizing at around a 6 to 6.5%. But new inventory units continuously growing and having the 4 month stretch that we've had is what has led to where we are in the marketplace of units being up 4% and volume being up 8.7% year to date. Now, this is new inventory units coming to you on a weekly basis. And I pulled this. This is a 2-year view. This is a weekly basis over a 24-week period. The reason why I bring this up is here's my prediction for you. I think we crested the market in July of this year. Okay. This is not abnormal. Now we're going to start to feel the slide from a seasonality perspective, but just know on a new units inventory, we had a great 4 month stretch. Last year, we had a great 3-year stretch. So to stretch that out over a 4 month period is great. And it's also impacted total inventory. And I'm kind of foreshadowing something here for listing agents if you're paying attention. Listing agents, you need to be paying attention to the fact that there were 6,855 inventory units on the market in the month of July. It was up 2.3% versus last year and up 15% versus July of 24. Now, here's the other very interesting fact, listing agents. I pulled the total inventory units on a weekly basis over the latest 24 weeks, and here's your visual. This should tell you something. Okay. What it should be telling you, and this is what I'm foreshadowing you of what you need to be paying attention to. The market we sit in today on August 11th is vastly different than the market you were sitting in on June 11th. So as you continuously take listings, because you will, that's what I'm going to manifest, you will continuously take listings. You need to be realistic in setting seller expectations because the market we are in today is giving buyers more optionality. I will show how that's showing up in the data because the competitiveness of the market has started to soften a little bit because buyers have optionality. Sellers need to be realistic that they have more competition. More competition means there's more inventory on the market. Okay. So the other thing that's going on, and I said, hey, look, like this is really kind of settled down. And then all of a sudden I got, boop, nope, that was a 1 month anomaly. Now we're back into the trend. Expired listing units. I know this says June. I apologize. It should say July. In the month of July, they were up 39% versus last year and up 73% versus June of 24. Again, Listing agents, I need you to hear me. You have to right size seller expectations or you will get expired. Okay. Part of this is we know people are kicking the tires because they want to see what they can get from a pricing perspective, so they'll test the market. But the other piece of it is if you don't have your game totally dialed in, they will go to the next person who they think has their game totally dialed in. And part of it, and why I think this is because when inventory is rising in this way, buyers have more options, sellers have more competition, and we need to right size expectations. Okay. Now, this is on a weekly basis over the latest 24 weeks of expired inventory, and you can see in the month of July, there was a pretty substantial increase in expired inventory. Now, I'm going to go into a little bit more macroeconomic commentary. I've included a little bit more into this over the last several months to help you guys educate where we are and where I think we're going. This is crude oil. I told you crude oil is the lead metric as to where mortgage rates are going. If you look here on a year-to-date perspective, you can kind of see the ebbs and flows of what's happened on crude oil year-to-date. But here's what's most important. I looked at it over the latest 1 month to show you over the latest 1 month, crude oil is up around 6%. And if you see here, starting in the beginning of August, it dipped and then it took a spike. And you know what's interesting? In the beginning of August, rates were sitting right around 6.4%, and today they're sitting right around 6.7%. Again, crude oil prices, as weird as this sounds, and I went into a whole dialogue on this previously, crude oil is a leading metric as to where you can expect rates to go. Okay, so let's look at rates, shall we? In August 6th, which is last week, Thursday, rates were sitting at 6.7%. And this is not a look, there's a spike in the beginning of August. There's a spike in the beginning of August. They are correlative. That's why we track it. And in a highly commoditized market, such as rates, we pay attention to where crude oil is going to help us as a lead indicator of where rates might be headed. Something I'm very much paying attention to because as rates continuously creep up, it can be the break of what will slow our market down, specifically here in southeastern Wisconsin. S&P 500, okay, when you look at it when the past year, it's up roughly 22%. This is the one piece that is giving consumers confidence is the fact that, look, the S&P 500 on the latest 12 months is up 22%, and year to date it's up 13%. And if you really have been paying attention to your stock portfolios in the month of August, there was a really big spike in the first 2 weeks of August. I'll be honest, I'm not going to pretend like I'm smart enough to know why there was a spike, but we track it because it's a really, really good leading indicator to consumer confidence. So we're in this weird kind of phase where rates are rising. The stock market hasn't really responded in a negative way, so people still feel good about what their balance sheets look like. And yet at the same time, we have more inventory, which is creating optionality for buyers. This is the one piece, though, where I would have expected to see a spike and I hadn't, which tells me that buyers are still confident. They're just being pickier and they're still acting with decisiveness because days on market have not substantially increased. Okay. We're operating in 30, it increased when you look at it from June. It was at 24 days to July being 30 days. That's a 6-day difference. That's pretty substantial, which is why I'm telling you, like, your sellers in the market of August 11th is not the same market that it was in June 11th. And so it's important to pay attention to here is May is 23 days on market. July was 24 days on market. May was 23, June was 24, July was 30. But then when I look at the historical average, we were at 30 last year too. But when you have recency bias of things were moving at 23 days on market and now they're at 30 days, that is a substantial change in terms of time of velocity and rate of sale. Sales absorption rate, this is the percentage of indicator of percentage of inventory that goes under contract in a given month. I look at this to say, like, okay, with all the factors that are going on and rates that have since now spiked, like, how does this impact demand? Good news is it didn't totally impact demand. And then when you look at it from a pricing perspective, I'll be curious here. Pricing in the month of July, in and of itself, softened a tad from where it was in June and May. I'll be looking at this moving forward. As I've told you before, 1 month is an anomaly, 2 months is a trend. One month could be an anomaly, but I'm paying attention to it. And when you look at it versus the last 2 years, the average is up 7.5% and the median up 10%. So all of this is interesting. There's a lot of things going on. And by the way, I will boil this down into a new grocery store market of the moment script for you. Here's the data of what's winning for you. Okay, for perspective, you're going to see a lot of columns on this. I share with you to break this down to help you understand. Here was April and May of 24. Here is March and April of 25. Here is March and April of 26, May of 26, and June of 26. Again, the reason why I give you all these columns on these windows is to help you understand and articulate to your clients the market we were in the last 30 to 60 days is not the market we are in today. So what is the market we are in today in terms of what's winning? There are two substantial differences, probably three substantial differences. Okay, here it is. July, we reviewed 132 contracts, the average price point being 435. First thing to note, we went from an average list price to accepted offer ratio of 103% during the spring market to now 101%. That 200-point basis drop is actually pretty substantial when you look at the average of a $400,000 home. 2% of 400,000 is a meaningful difference to buyers and sellers. Second thing, inspection contingencies in the month of July completely flipped. 64% of all deals that we reviewed had an inspection contingency, 36% did not. That tells me that buyers are responding to the optionality they have in the market. Okay. The last piece of it, two more pieces of it that I want to call out. 45% or nearly half of all inspection contingencies had a threshold. And of those that had a threshold, the average threshold was $7,000. And then you can see here the interesting piece of co-broke compensation. As the market gets more competitive, it becomes more of a negotiating tactic. As the market becomes less competitive, it's become less of a negotiating tactic. And of the deals we reviewed in July, the average co-broke compensation was 2.36%. Make sense? Interesting things here to be paying attention to. Should note to help prep sellers, prep buyers. Context is important. It's why you have a job, to be able to provide perspective. Okay. Here's my grocery store market of the moment script. I tried to boil all this data down to make it simplified for you. By the way, all of it will be uploaded to the AI app. All of it will be uploaded to the KW Realty MKE Agent Hub. So here it is. Demand of the market. The demand has remained consistent. That is true. Buyers are proceeding cautiously, and an increase in inventory is creating more optionality for buyers. Inventory. New inventory coming to the market is healthy versus prior years, but sellers have more competition. There's more inventory, meaning more options. Their competitive set is what is on the market today. And there are two kinds of sellers. You have to identify, are they having to sell because of life events, which is roughly 75% of the market, or are they wanting to cash in on their equity and appreciation, which is 25% of the market? These are the patient sellers. Many are testing the market. Pay attention. Expireds have increased pace, and we saw that in the month of July. I expect to continue to see that in the month of August. You have to set expectations, communicate, and price appropriately. Here's my market summary for you in a nutshell. Here's my walking down the Sendix aisle or Quick Trip or Piggly Wiggly. Buyers have more optionality. Sellers have to be realistic. We're entering a new market. Okay. And we know this because sellers, and I will repeat this, we went from 23 days on market to 24 days on market to 30 days on market. 6 extra days on market feels like an eternity for a seller. Okay. Also going from 103% list price to accepted offer ratio to 101% list price to accepted offer ratio. And I would bet that that hovers right around 100% or maybe even dipping below 100% heading into the fall. Pay attention. Capital markets have remained healthy. It provides buyer confidence. More inventory is creating more competition for sellers. Rates are rising though. Agents, you have to do this, and this is kind of like a really perfect segue of what we talked about in the very beginning. It absolutely increases the importance of your lead gen activities. Because if the market is going to shift this fall, and I'm not saying that it is, I'm just trying to help you look at the things I'm thinking about it, where it could go, so that you're not caught off guard. The insurance policy to any potential downside risk of a market shift heading into the fall, increase the intensity and frequency of your lead generation activities. The conversation 20, 30 minutes ago was really a great foreshadow of what I was actually going to encourage you to do anyways, which is just increase the intensity and frequency of your lead gen activities. And it is the greatest insurance policy from you being disrupted, and you can have a great year despite whatever the market throws at you. Make sense? Beautiful. Here's the lore report as it relates to brokerage performance within the marketplace. Look, you guys collectively are outperforming the market by 95%. That's pretty freaking good. And here's what you see on the latest 12-month trends from a visual standpoint. And then when we look at the luxury price points, look, you sell one of every 3 homes in the luxury price point. You sell 170% or 2.2x more than number 2, and you sell them 45% faster. And you aren't in the same group as your peers when it relates to higher average price points in southeastern Wisconsin. And again, I share this with you because higher average price points to anyone in this business is an inspirational and aspirational type business. And you're in no better place to be able to achieve that by leaning on the people to the left of you and to the right of you. Sound good? So here's my synopsis for you. 1, pay attention. 2, don't slow down. 3, your best insurance policy to getting more than your unfair share is your lead gen activities. And don't be ignorant as to what's happening in the marketplace. Rates are rising. There's more inventory on the market. It's giving buyers more optionality. We're not seeing buyers leave the market. It's just they're being pickier. And sellers have to understand the market of the moment they are in. Your job is to be able to provide that perspective, which is why they pay you to do what you do. Make sense? It's a beautiful day in Milwaukee, guys. Thanks for showing up. If you have any questions, hit me up. We're here to help and help you guys win. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.